welcome once again to this our closing ceremony at the International AI Challenge by the Global Youth Congress. Today's event brings us together, parting from the incredible competition we just had through this weekend. Friday with trainings, Saturday with project presentations from different schools from different countries around the world. We had the thorough and amazing opportunity to count with from schools from Argentina, Venezuela, El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. It's been quite an interesting experience to be able to crunch the ins and outs of what AI means for our society and try to make something that's truly useful and powerful for our humanity. So, to help me with today's ceremony, I am so beyond pleased to introduce my beloved friend and also our Global Experience Coordinator, Miss Adriana Fetzer. Hi, Adri, how are you doing in this beautiful morning?
I'm super good, Mao. How are you? I'm so happy and excited to finally know the results of the competition overall.
All in all, I feel it's going to be a quite a. I'm not sure if it's going to be a bit of a surprise, but from what we saw yesterday, I felt it was such a hard decision to make from a judging perspective and just understanding, the different points of views that our different schools provided regarding I just feel it was such an outstanding and such an incredible performance by everyone. So, Adi, basing ourselves on that specific premise, what would you say is one of the, you know, biggest takeaways you're getting out of this weekend for yourself?
I think the main thing for me is hope for the future. I see a lot of hope in these students. Something that we did mention at the end of our training session on Friday was that these are these people are the future, right? They are the people who will lead us into the future with technology, with empathy, and hopefully, with good intentions. And I saw that throughout the weekend. I saw them looking towards their community, looking out from their room. This is an online competition, but I saw much more than that. I saw them go out into the streets, film their community, see what issues they truly were faced with. And overall, I just feel a lot of hope for the future. Hopefully, I get to live in this world that they are creating for the next decade and for the future overall.
I really appreciate that. And in the end, I feel, the more our world changes, the more technology advances, the more complex it gets to really understand and find, what your next steps should be. And I totally understand, there's a lot of fear around the topic of AI. There's also a lot of hype around the topic of AI. Um, but I feel one of our speakers through this weekend said something very powerful, and it is the mere fact that every single technology is good and bad at the same time. We can't look at it from a single lens. And I think that's also something that throughout the weekend was extremely clear. Nonetheless, our students, through the exercise and their projects and their, the opportunities that they presented yesterday, it was incredible to see how they truly found ways to focus on the good side of AI while still mitigating the perhaps bad side, if we could call it so, or the risks that the technology definitely poses for our humanity. So Eddie, I know at the Global Youth Congress we've been integrating AI as part of our central funnel for quite some time now. I feel it's part of our DNA as an organization to be able to leverage this technology for good, for better. And just from that standpoint, I would love to hear a little bit about your experience in, actually applying this sort of technologies with our students through different mediums and within our competitions even. What do you think, like what have you seen actually from this technology, and how do you feel our approach maybe, differentiates from others?
Well, I feel like something that you mentioned, right? The bad side and the good side of technology, if we can even call it that. I would say it's the bad side is more of a responsibility, something that we need to take into account. And really how we use that technology and upcoming things that are happening all around us. So in my experience in the Global Youth Congress and over the programs that we have worked with, I've seen good use of AI. I've also seen a little bit of bad use. Some people kind of want to do everything with AI, and that's not what it's all about. What we try to do with these kinds of competitions and teaching our students their responsibility of the tools that they are given is that good use. And overall, the majority of participants that I've had the pleasure of working with have, learned how to use this technology and manage it with responsibility. And overall, they find it really helpful. Not necessarily that it's taking their work out of their life, but more as a tool, which is what I think can be super, super helpful with AI. And also, what you mentioned in our company, we really do use it as an extremely helpful tool to get to personalize things, to get to reach out to more people. So that's what, in my opinion, the future of technology is all about. It's not about disconnecting each other, but actually using it as a tool to connect with more people.
And all in all, I also feel it's incredible to see how this technology is allowing us to be a lot more selective about the kind of task and the kind of activity that we actually invest a lot of time doing. Because perhaps, there's some activities that may not necessarily add much value, but are extremely needed. It's to be
Yeah,
able to, build projects and put out their great quality academics. A very simple example. Um, really, sitting down and typing, writing a whole lesson plan. It takes quite some time, and lessons that really connect with the audience, with your students, are hard to create. So if your energy is spent in typing and whether this sentence makes sense and whether it's going to be understandable, there's a lot of brain power that's been not necessarily best used in that specifically event that you could actually be using to instead of pulling out one lesson plan for a whole class, maybe you can stop and think a little further. How can we put together a lesson that better fits our different students with their different needs? And I have the wonder that I can, instead of creating one lesson plan through 1 hour, I could create maybe three or four that I can apply in different groups within one lesson. So it really
exactly.
exponentiates the output that I can give as a human, because else I would be just writing one lesson plan and I would have to stick to that. So I guess where I'm trying to go is this technology. Of course, there's a lot of nuance to it still. Of course, it's still too new to really know and understand, uh, you know, in depth the risks and the benefits that it's going to bring for our humanity. But just like the smartphones, just like the cars, just like any other piece of technology, our world really needs to just be mindful as we walk towards the future on understanding how is it impacting. Is it helping us the way we're expecting it to? Is it still aligned with our objectives? Is our cognition being how can we put it, is our cognition being limited by using this sort of technology, or is it being exponentiated?
Yeah, yeah.
In my mind, it comes to a very similar debate than when we introduced Excel at some point, or even when we introduced this little things at some point, where people would say, our cognition is just not going to improve because, you know, calculators are pretty much do the math for you. And reality is, yes, perhaps humans have less of an ability to be able to sum quickly and do math quickly, but that doesn't mean that we're not solving even bigger challenges in today's world. So it's a bit of a trade off and perhaps a change on a kind of ability and skill that provides value for our humanity while still keeping humans at the center of it and still keeping that human factor that is what humanity is all about at the forefront of this whole revolution. So I really appreciate what you're saying. I really appreciate our students, you know, making sure they build quality ideas that have this at the forefront of them, and push towards a much more thorough analysis of what AI is beyond just saying, good or bad. So,
Exactly.
on that note, I really appreciate everything that's going on, and I really appreciate this technologies. I really appreciate um, humanity pushing forward and uniting to, you know, find how to make it work for everyone. And I guess that's a very important key aspect that we always need to bear in mind, not just for myself, but how can we make it work for our local community, for our continent, for our world. As we mentioned several times through the weekend, we see our world as a 7 billion people team. And yes, I get it's hard sometimes to, you know, get a consensus in a 4 people team. So it's gonna be hard to get a consensus in a 7 billion people team. But the fact that it's hard doesn't make it any less important. So from that stance, I guess that's what this event was all about, truly bringing the conversation into the table, and making sure our students have a lot more means and ways to put the best of themselves, pour the best of themselves into these new technologies and use them for good. Continue to being forces for good, and really mindful thinkers that can leverage technology in powerful ways. So, Adi, any further comments you want to make on this?
Yes, I
Yes,
would
I
like
would like
to
to
also
also
add
add
that,
that.
it's awesome that we have seen their progress from, knowing very little about AI at the start and having a lot of questions, right? We saw during our training a lot of growth. And by the end of the weekend, I mean, those videos were absolutely incredible. And also, I do think that they learned a lot about how to transfer that message that is so important about their communities and what truly matters into something tangible and something that everyone can understand, right? That's also something that we focused on over the weekend, and how to create an important message and something that anyone can connect with. And I
And
really did connect with all those videos. So I'm super, super proud of everyone. And like you said, I think we did manage to achieve our goal, which is to have technology merge with people, but also understanding that importance of the human connection behind it all.
absolutely love that. So, Adi, I guess it's time now to move a little bit into the whole, you know, award kind of thing, isn't it? I know
Yes.
that's why most of our students are in here. And just as a reminder, we do have a couple of awards coming up. We're going to give out first, second, and third place award. The teams that we will call out right now are teams that are completely eligible for our Orlando experience, which is bottom line very much tied to artificial intelligence and further developing the kind of projects that you brought here. For Orlando, we don't only challenge you to ideate, but rather implement as well. This program is not really about, staying the base layer, but it's that next step, that next challenge that's really gonna, get you to do something about it instead of just uh, thinking about it. So I just wanna very briefly congratulate everyone before we move into the awards. Of course, there's a competition, and in the end, you know, criterias are criterias and rules are rules. Our judges had quite a fun time, really, finding out who was the winner. It was super close. I will have to say that it's been, um, the judges really had to dig through the different documents, the specific videos, um, thorough conversations to really be able to come up with a clear scoring and something that really reflects what each team put through the table, because all of them really did an outstanding job. Everyone really managed to, make it and put it out there, which was the utmost objective that we had in here. We do have some awards to give out, but the first award I want to give out is the participation one to absolutely everything and everyone that participated through this event, because it's crazy to see the amount of growth that we can achieve in 2 days, not even 2 days, I would say mere hours. And
Yes,
it's
yes.
crazy to see, and something that our students were mentioning over and over again yesterday as we closed and we presented every single one of the projects, um, was that they didn't know they could do that in just 5 hours. So what if we give them a little more time than 5 hours? What could happen?
Yeah.
What could happen with these kids, in a 10-year kind of time frame? If they commit and they understand where they want to drive their career, their world, and their local community, I'm certain we'll see outstanding things. Um, I believe the same of every single one of my team members at the Global Youth Congress, actually, and it's crazy to see how day after day we do things that we didn't think we could do, honestly. And it is outstanding to see that growth happening. And from the leadership seat, it's just so reassuring of the kind of team that we have, and the people behind this project that make your work day after day to ensure that our students have strong opportunities to live an amazing learning experience throughout their high school years. So, Adi, any words you want to address to our participants?
I mean, just like you said, I'm super, super proud of everyone. I saw a lot of smiles yesterday, which makes me so, so, so happy. A lot of support between the groups also, which I applaud you all for. I know we can get a little competitive over school things, but I did see a lot of cheering on the other teams, which is amazing. And overall, I'm just super proud of everyone. And like you said, it just gives me hope for our future. And overall, everyone did an amazing job. It was tough to notice any like thing that was worse than others. Like every single one was at the same level, which is amazing. It's just about what the judges think really, and how thorough they were with their rules, because I know that we did have some tough rules that I got asked about, but overall I'm just super proud of everyone. So yeah, I'm ready to see the awards.
Amazing. And right before we move into handing out our first, second, and third place awards, I want to make sure we just give some time, because our head coach Danny, who is an ex participant of ours, um, prepared for every single one of you. Few words and a bit of a message for every single one of you to continue down this path of innovation, to continue down this path of creation, and in the end, understand that you too can add value to our world, whether you're 13, whether you're 14, whether you're 15. Doesn't matter how old you are. The one thing that matters is that you can add value to our world today, right here, right now, and you just proved that yesterday. So let's just direct ourselves to the screen as we just introduce a small message from our head student coach, Danny.
If someone tells you you have the possibility to change the world, what would you think? In a world full of pressing challenges, it seems like there is no way out, right? I have felt that, and believe me, there is a solution. I am Daniel, and I have always dreamed about something to help as many people as I can. A year ago, I had the incredible opportunity to meet an organization called the Global Youth Congress, an organization that puts everything on the line for the youth. Throughout 2025, I was blessed with participating at the International Forum in Orlando, an unforgettable experience full of fun, learning, and mostly future projection. To continue my journey, this weekend I was glad to help the exceptional GYC team Asmao and Adriar being part of the International AI Challenge. In this short period of time, I was able to learn more than I could imagine. More than that, I saw a united worldwide youth generation driven by passion towards turning AI into something bigger, something meaningful to our world. And honestly, that filled my heart with joy. I am really proud of the projects that you develop, guys, and thank you for letting me be part of this challenge. Also, thank you to the experts that gave us that incredible knowledge And last but not least, to Mao and Adri, friends that have always trusted in me, and now they take an important place in my life. No,
So appreciative of Danny, most definitely. He's such a strong leader. You can see him right here on the International AI Challenge front page, and I mean his work in Orlando was just amazing with Lumen. With his classmates, he developed this app to help other students be able to, you know, have an easier time when making that call in terms of what do you want to study, and I see a bright future for him on that end. Adi.
Yes, I mean, I am so proud to have him join us overall. He did an exceptional job in Orlando and truly an exceptional job as our head coach. And, I really loved having him in our team as part of the student team. And hopefully, we get to see him shine overall when he, grows up to inevitably be super successful. So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And while talking about success, we do have three outstanding teams this weekend that we're handing awards to. So let's move on forward to get started with our award presentations. I'm extremely proud of all of the teams that presented throughout this whole weekend. It's been a crazy road, nonetheless a pretty fulfilling one to see young minds just pour their souls into solutions for their communities, and having real tangible results out of that is outstanding for such a short time frame we had. So once again, let's get started right here right now. Let's move on to our first award introduction as we introduce, of course, our third place award. Our third place award is a team that absolutely connected with their local um, community and understood a very clear problem that their current society is going through. This award, beyond the AI integration that they proposed, goes up for the connection and the truthful integration of technology and solutions towards the SDGs. They're chosen SDGs to fix, where two, the no poverty SDG and the no hunger around the world SDG. And to this team, we send our biggest and warmest congratulations all the way to Venezuela with Academia Washington. Congratulations on your third place. It's been an outstanding journey with you all. Please hear it out for Venezuela and for Academia Washington and their presentation on an app to help have a more equitable supermarket purchase. Let's put it that way. So outstanding job, girls from Venezuela. We're looking forward to seeing more of you and what the future will bring from you, and of course for your country, for Venezuela. Adi, any words you want to address to this team?
I'm super proud of them, and I do believe that their project was exceptional. I mean, I saw a lot of they went out into their communities, which I loved. They did a great job, something that was very tangible and very doable, which I loved. It goes beyond the borders of their home, and it goes into their community, which I love. I'm super proud, and congratulations, girls.
Congratulations, Venezuela, one more time. Moving forward into our next award. Second place across the competition. Second place across the competition. This award is being handed to a team that truly understood how to drive technology forward and how to integrate AI into the learning journey. From a learning standpoint, and it's crazy to see, but many of our teams yesterday committed to leveraging AI to push education forward, which is very close to the heart of what the Global Youth Congress is, and all in all, what we're here to do from an educational standpoint. As you can see, well, this is an online competition connecting teams from multiple countries to make sure they put out their ideas and give them the stage to be able to propose valuable solutions that can enhance our humanity. So this team definitely embodied that, and I am extremely proud to. This is going to be a bit of a short flight, but I'm extremely proud to introduce the second place award to our beloved friends from Guatemala at Trina's Team A. Congratulations, Guatemala, on that second place. Your app and your ability to code something in a day was outstanding, honestly. And the fact that you presented, it wasn't even part of the objectives, but the fact that you went above and beyond and presented a tangible idea really helped to showcase the specifics of the idea that you wanted to show and that you wanted to put out there. And it really helped, again, give our judges a lot more understanding as of the specifics that you wanted to do for your community and the way that your community was going to receive that help. You even thought about, the student side, the teacher side, and the different subjects that you could cover to power up the Guatemalan education and make sure that everyone has a higher quality education. So, Ari, any comments right here?
Yes, I am super proud of them. And something that I noticed throughout all the videos was that understanding of community. This, and especially this project, I really liked because they found something that is truly a problem within their country, their community, and try to solve that specific problem. And something that we did mention over the weekend is that you don't have to eat the whole world, right? Like we say, you don't have to fix everything, but as long as you try to take it one step at a time and fix something within your community, and then go grow. And you said, like, if we gave them a year to figure this out, how successful would they be? So I am super proud, and overall, congratulations.
Congratulations, Trinas. We're looking forward to see what's next from you all. So moving forward, we have our last, but definitely not least award, our first place award, to a team that really understood the ask and really pushed through to put out there an idea that not only impacts their immediate local community, but is also scalable enough to be able to be launched in multiple geographies. So, for the vision and the specificity and the problem fix that this team managed to achieve in the 5 hours they had, and again, I'm talking 5 hours here. It's not too much time.
On the dot.
It's definitely not too much time to be able to push this through. But if we talk about that, I just want to make sure, to congratulate this team thoroughly on their performance, since it's reflective of what they managed to pull through. I was stoked about what every single team proposed in 5 hours. It's crazy to see, the creativity, the preparedness. I'm not sure I could have done that back in high school, honestly. And it's crazy to see how our education is moving forward and how our young generations are just managing to pull in even more as we could. And the more stoked I am about what our teenagers can achieve today, the better we're doing our job. So I'm just happy to see that happening. So first place, this is going to be another short flight. An even shorter one if we're going from our last award up until this school, and we want to thoroughly congratulate from El Salvador, Escuela Americana. Congratulations on your performance at the International AI Challenge 2025 to Escuela Americana all the way to El Salvador. We've been stoked about the idea that you have proposed and at the same time about the execution that you pulled through to make sure our local communities understand and know that AI can be used for good. So congratulations once again to all of our participants. Congratulations to our awardees. You will be receiving your participation certificates real soon. And you will also be receiving your award certificates real soon for those of you who managed to pull in an award. We will also be issuing to each institution eligibility based on their performance on this challenge for our Orlando program, which is honestly, unfortunately, we don't have too many spots to be able to fill into that program since we prioritize diversity, and really the operations of that program don't really allow us to have, a huge crowd in there, especially due to the partners that we work with and their specific, well, real estate and how they can accommodate people. They really push towards personalization of education, and on that end, again, just from an operative standpoint, it's a little hard to be able to push through more than we can. But we'll be growing from year after year, and hopefully in a number of years, we'll be able to have real estate to allocate, even more schools as we go. So this is a pretty exclusive opportunity. Those three that we mentioned are absolutely eligible to participate in our Orlando program. And also, of course, those of you who perhaps did not win an award, you will be issued a letter letting you know whether you're eligible or not based on the performance that our academic team saw through this short experience. More to come on all things GYC. Nonetheless, I just wanted to congratulate again every single one of our participants individually. I would absolutely love to just again give you a huge round of applause because you have made it happen. It was just 5 hours. Come on, I'm still kind of shocked. I helped develop the activity, and I was kind of hesitant what you guys were going to be able to do in 5 hours. And just seeing the end result and how you always over deliver, it's crazy that we can, it just makes it so that we can keep pushing you to deliver outstanding things. So congratulations, truly congratulations on all fronts. You have made an outstanding effort and an outstanding job here. We will be happy to continue working with you to deliver outstanding participations and outstanding experiences throughout the world. So thank you so much. Ali, any final comments?
Yes, I mean, I would love to congratulate Escuela Americana from El Salvador on their first place on this AI competition. And I would like to say to all participants, this is just seeing this, we can know that you would excel in Orlando. Like, this is what it's all about, the little pressure that you have with your team and overall the planning that it takes, but especially the passion for innovation and for creativity that it takes. I think I would love to see all of you in Orlando, hopefully. But overall, I do think that this weekend was all about excellence, and I'm just super, super proud of you all. So thank you so much for participating with us, and I hope to see you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope you have an outstanding rest of your weekend. Hope to see you up next coming in. For our dear educators, you will also receive your personalized team report with the scorings, rankings, and a little bit of feedback from our academic team as of how you can keep improving and how you can keep pushing forward to give this students, this outstanding participants, as many tools as they can to be able to push and drive our communities forward. So thank you so much once again for trusting us with your time, with your efforts. We are certainly hopeful to see more of every single one of our participants towards the future, and we're psyched to have had you through the International AI Challenge. More to come, as I said, and we will have, of course, further experiences for the International AI Challenge, so stay up to date within our emails chains and, of course, socials, as we will be announcing towards the future this and more opportunities to come. So congratulations to everyone. Thank you so much. We're happy that you could join us, and we're psyched to see what's coming next from you all. See you all very soon.
Bye bye. Bye bye.